I was talking to this girl that I meet with periodically. It's just a really great ministry relationship that I have. I met her through baseball, the kids playing baseball last summer, and she's been around church quite a bit, as well as hung out with us and done some fun family things with us. And she mentioned to me, she said, like, you have it all, she said to me. And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, no, I don't. I mean, I have it all as far as what I think really matters in life. I have the Lord. My soul is going to live for eternity with Christ in heaven, but that's having it all to me. And I think she was more focused on the circumstances of my life, and you know, she doesn't know me that well, so maybe from the outside she might think I have it all, this perfect marriage and my well-behaved children, and you know, just what she sees on the few occasions that we hang out. And it's like, no, like, I am flawed beyond belief, and I have so many struggles in my mind and my heart, just like anybody would. And my kids misbehave quite a bit, you know, and I have to fight every single day against this sinful flesh. So no, what you see is my joy in the Lord and my effort to not complain, but to instead be thankful and content with the blessings I have, and be thankful to God, the one who's given them to me. They could all change in 5 minutes. Tomorrow, everything can be different. Anybody's life can change in 5 minutes. And so while we've got the blessings that we have, be thankful, you know? So we got into talking about what contentment actually is, that it's not circumstantial, it's a heart issue. It has nothing to do with your circumstances. For goodness sake, read about Paul in prison being content, and then hear about people that have it all and they're not content, that really have it all, like everything brand spanking new and riches beyond anything I could ever comprehend, and they're not content. I believe true contentment can only come through the Lord. So yeah, true contentment really I feel can only come from knowing the Lord, because really what it is like a peace in your soul, right? Because when we're not content, when we're thinking about all the things that we want that we don't have, there's like this lack of peace in our soul. We're just like, I've been there a million times. Sometimes I go down that road of like, I want a new wardrobe, and I'm like, I want this, I want that, or all the stuff I want to do to the house. It's like, I want to do the kitchen, I want to do the playroom, I want to get this, I want to get that, and you're just no peace, because it's just in your head all day long, consuming you, and you've gone down the road of discontentment and focusing on all the things you want that you don't have, which is naturally going to make you feel unhappy. And I've had to correct my thinking. Sometimes it's a little journey you have to go through, and it's like, and then you correct your thinking, and you come back to a place of truth and remembering the blessings in your life, and that brings this peace to your soul that surpasses all understanding. It's hard to understand what the Lord can do to someone's soul. You can truly have peace only in the Lord. I never felt peace like I have felt after becoming a believer. Even in really hard situations, there's peace, because the Lord is just amazing. It surpasses all understanding. We can't understand. We're too human. He's too big and great, and we just can't get it. But somehow, some way, He gives us peace. And so yeah, like, you can go down those roads, and when we think constantly about everything we want that we don't have, you're going to be unhappy. But when we focus on our blessings, you're going to be grateful and thankful, and you're going to be at peace, and then happy, joyful, cheerful, because you're focusing on all the great things in your life that God's giving you. How can you just be like, you know? So I was telling her, it has nothing to do with all the stuff you think, you know, that I have it all. I am so wretched, and I fall, I go down those wrong paths sometimes, and I can be discontent now and completely at peace tomorrow because the battle is there. As soon as I identify that temptation of wanting to start getting, wrapped up in all the things I want, I start to fight it. And I was going to say something. Oh, I'm like, you don't hear me complain. Complaining is a huge, I don't know, it's a really good discipline to not complain. Start to discipline yourself today to not complain and gripe, and try to listen to how many times you complain and gripe. Even the small things like, oh, I can't believe this. That's a gripe. And you know who hates that? Your husband. Trust me. Men cannot stand complaining women, so don't complain. Make that man want to fly home after work every single night because he knows there's no complaining and griping going on, So start to listen out for your complaining and your griping. And I think we'll be very unpleasantly surprised at how much we gripe and complain. But if you start to fight that and discipline yourself to only let positive things come out and not complain and gripe by focusing on all the wonderful things and then mentioning the wonderful things, I think we'll be surprised how content we can feel. So I was going to say that, complaining. Oh, and I told her, I was like, I can easily tell you a bunch of things that if I thought about differently, I could be super discontent with cleaning and laundry. I clean, I do laundry, it's dirty the next day. Everybody's using the clothes. The kids, you know how kids are. They go outside, get covered in dirt, and then they want to change clothes, go outside again, get soaking wet, and want to change clothes. It's 3 outfits in one day, especially now in the summertime. That's more laundry, Fine, that's my job. But I can either complain about it and be bitter and frustrated, or cheerfully, joyfully do my job unto the Lord, So what path? I can complain and gripe that when I'm trying to focus on something, anything, my Juice Plus business, or preparing for homeschooling, or writing a grocery list, for goodness sake, anything that requires me just sitting down and trying to think by myself, clear-headed, and then the kids get into a conflict and I have to get up and go, correct them and walk through that with them. I can easily start complaining and griping that I can't get anything done. I can't get a moment's peace. I can't just focus on this one little thing. Or I can say, oh, I'm a mom. I gotta go train my kids the way the Lord commands me to. So let me go do that with a cheerful attitude, and He's gonna equip me to do that. 2 roads, So that, and then same. I've made videos about bitterness with husbands. How they just leave things around, or they put things in the wrong spots. You can choose, man. You can choose to complain and gripe and just feed that bitterness and be miserable. Or you can either communicate in a loving way if it needs to be communicated, or just take care of it, man. Who cares? Just take care of it. Why is it a big deal? Just do it. And especially for little things like a cup in the sink instead of the dishwasher. Do you need to communicate about that? No, you need to suck it up and just put it in the dishwasher. But, if it's something really big, like, you keep tracking mud through the house, can you just take your shoes off by the door? Communicate it. There's nothing wrong with that. And if there is, then clean the mud up and don't argue. But I really don't think that your husband's going to say, how dare you tell me to take my shoes off? He's probably just going to say, oh, sure, I didn't even realize. Yeah, and he'll do it. So, pick your battles. Seek to be selfless and serve and love. Seek to provide a loving atmosphere for your home, for your guests, and for your family. And be content because the Lord has blessed you. No matter what circumstance you're in, the Lord has blessed you. And if you are in the middle of a trial, the Lord can give you peace and joy even in the midst of that. And know that He is shaping you and sanctifying you in the midst of that trial, so that you are going to become more and more like Christ. He is building your faith. That's a blessing, right? To have your faith being built. It might not feel good, but man, when you come out on the other side, may it be in this lifetime or in heaven, because it might be a trial that lasts till death. Wherever the other side is, the Lord is growing your faith, and that's a blessing. So it's hard, you know. I think something that really, really, really helps me is to focus on eternity. Every time I start getting wrapped up in stuff that does not matter, I think about heaven, and then I'm like, oh, be quiet, Alana. What a fool. Just be thankful.